Hello everyone, it's your crafty Missy here. This is part 1 of my 3-part tutorial series on how to make magical miniatures for your cards, scrapbooking, dollhouses, dolls, whatever reason you might want them for. In this part 1, I'm going to show you how to make a cute little miniature magic wand. Here you can see my doll Jinx holding her magic wand. So it's something like this that you're going to make in this tutorial. Let's get started. So you don't need very many items to make this thing, and you might even find all of this in your house already. So you need writing paper, just basic writing paper. You can take a page from your notebook like I've done here. Just this kind of paper is the best. Don't use anything too thick. Normal writing paper is the best. You will need some acrylic paints, of course, in the colors that you like, you want to be. Now, today I'm going to make a wand using this crimson colored acrylic paint, but I'm mixing some black into this to make it darker because I want really like a deep wine color for my wand. If you want your wand to shimmer like my wand does, you can see there's a slight shimmer there, then you will need something like gold paint or gold leaf. I'm using this Inca Gold by Viva Decor, and this is copper colored, something like this, or gold paint. You will also need some glue, just regular paper glue, and scissors, and that's pretty much everything you're going to need. So let's get started. So you need to cut out a piece of paper that looks something like this. So it is taller than it is wider, and I have modeled this after an A4 size. These are the dimensions of an A4. A4 is a European size, but American letter size is pretty close. So you don't have to measure anything, just cut out something that is taller than it is wider, something that looks like this, pretty much a rectangle, I think you could say. Now then you need something to help you start rolling this. I'm using this needle that is from my needle collection, and this is not a normal needle. This is slightly thicker than a normal needle, but this is perfect. And obviously if you use a needle, you need to be careful so that you won't stick it into yourself. So starting this off, take just one of these like lower corners and place the needle in there. And then what you need to start doing is get rolling onto this. This is a tough part. This is the toughest part of making this. So I just use my fingernail there, trying to push it in there, trying to start. There we go. And now remember to keep it tight from both ends. Now it will be thicker from one end, as you can see here. That's normal, and I think that looks better in a wand, that it's slightly thicker on one end. But keep rolling, keep rolling, keep rolling. There we go. There we go. Okay, well this one is not thicker on either end, but that's okay. But if it is thicker, then that's fine too. Okay, take the needle off, and what you have, it looks like this. Now we need to glue this. So I'm adding a little bit of glue here. Oops. Remember, you don't have to glue this all the way through. I know that there are, and this is, by the way, this is not an original idea by me to make a wand using paper. So I'm not going to take credit for that. I just thought of making some miniatures using this way. So just remember to put some, especially good glue here. So because this is the tip and you want that to really stay put. So yeah, so there we go. Okay, and then you will just keep rolling. There might be some glue seeping over, but we don't care about that right now. There we go. And now you want to keep onto that for a moment, as long as the glue dries enough. So now the glue has dried, and I'm going to do a little bit of snipping here. So you can see that we have this little tip here. Now we want to make this even, this end. So I'm going to cut it from approximately there, like that. And I'm going to do the same for the bottom. Just like that. of course, try to make them as even as possible. So here we go. We have this basic magic wand now. Okay, so now we have these holes here on both ends and we need to fill them. We're going to use glue to fill them. Now, use glue that is pretty sticky. Now, if you're using just regular paper glue, let it sit for a while before you use it on this, because if it's too runny, you will have problems. I've let my glue sit now for a while over here, and it should be much thicker than it is freshly poured from the bottle. So I'm going to fill this bottom first because it's thicker, and just take a little bit of glue and dab it in there. Be careful so that it won't run. You need enough because this is a hollow wand, so it will absorb a little bit of the glue, and you might actually have to add a little bit more later on. So I'm just adding some there. There we go. And now I'm turning this like this. If you keep it the other way around, it will go into the hole and it will not look very good. I'm going to keep drying this glue up now, and then when it's done, we'll fill the other end. So here is my wand. I've put glue on both ends and I've even started painting it a little bit. Now, if your wand has a concave end and not a rounded one like this, then it means that you just need to add some more glue and hold it upside down so that the glue kind of forms a beautiful little dome there. Okay, so I'm painting my wand with this acrylic color, which is a mix, like I said at the beginning, of this crimson color and some black, and it's a beautiful wine color. So let me finish painting this. Sometimes I even like to paint using my fingers, but right now just let's be civilized and use a brush. Now obviously you need to be careful here because we have these paper lines here, so just be careful that you put enough this color everywhere so that you will not see any white there in those lines. Okay, just let's look at our wand. It looks to be just fine. Remember, you can always add more paint to it. That's okay. All right, so I'm going to let this dry now for a moment, and then we're going to apply the copper, kind of like the shimmery color. Here is what our wand looks like now. Now, if you take this and look at it very closely, you will obviously still see the paper lines there. If those bother you, then you can always take some glue and drizzle over those spots and wait for it to dry and paint over those. So you will get a more gnarly looking wand in that case. Remember, if you do that, use sticky glue, thick glue, something that will not be too runny. Otherwise you will ruin your wand. So just regular glue that has sat for a while works fine. Okay, so then you will need to paint on the second color. The second color needs to be lighter, especially if you're using a dark color here first, then the second color definitely needs to be lighter. The reason for that is that it will look more realistic if you have a lighter color. Now, if you look at this one here that I've already made, it does have a more realistic look when it has two shades, a darker and a lighter. If you don't have anything gold like this, if you don't want it to shimmer, then just use another acrylic paint and just make that a lighter shade. Apply this second color with your finger. It will look much better when you do it with your finger. It will look much more realistic. My Inca Gold is slightly dried up, but I'm still using it. Just taking a little bit and just pretty much putting it on top there. This completely depends on what you want, what you like your wand to look like. I'm not going to add any more Inca Gold on this. However, I am thinking of maybe adding a third color to this. My bottom color was pretty dark, so now that I added the shimmer there, it kind of has a big contrast there. So I'm going to add a third color to this to make it look a little bit more realistic. All right, so I tried it out and I actually liked it when I added this color that I used as the first color. So I'm just going to dip my finger into this. And okay, I have a little bit too much there. Okay, so I'm just going to add this on this wand. So here it is, our little magic wand. Now, if you want to make this even fancier, just take a crystal, a bead, anything, and glue it on the top, on the bottom, wherever you want to glue it on. So there it is, and you can make this in as many colors, as many hues, whatever you want, and whatever sizes, as long as you use that sort of rectangular shaped piece of paper. So I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and I hope that you make some magic wands. Thank you so much for watching this tutorial, and have a great day. Bye!